At what age did I know I was a leader? I think I was leading very young. So I was starting to show smart little skills when I was younger. But you're not looking at it as that. You're kind of just looking like, oh, everybody likes me, or kind of when you're just looking at it in school, you're like, wow, just everybody likes me, or I get along with everybody at school. But then when I started looking, as I got older, I'm like, wow, I was a leader in fourth grade and fifth grade. I was getting hard worker awards, and I was the captain of the safety patrol. So you start looking at some of these things were already coming into play when I was younger. So I wouldn't have known that growing up, but then when I start to reflect as much as I do, then I start to see like, wow, I did have these skills growing. I just kept honing those skills. Yeah, I mean, it's probably lots of them, um, but one of them was, a lot of times as a young person, you're kind of finding your way through, and you question yourself a lot, just so your confidence, and your courage is different. But we moved a lot. I mean, I always tell people that we moved like 9 times growing up, and I say that every community we moved into, I was able to meet everybody. So I started seeing like, wow. And I was like, dang, we poor. We moving all over the city. But now that I'm going older, I'm like, how do I know the whole city the way I do? And I'm like, that's why I know the whole city, because if you moved when you were 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, all the way up to 13, and you meet everybody in the community when you move out to that new neighborhood, I started looking back growing up, it was a negative, but now I look at it, that was the most positive thing going on. So I'm hoping I answered your question there, but that was just a major piece that hit me on. I must have some type of leadership in my personality, just how I come off, because how was I able to affect or kind of work within each neighborhood I went into? I have 2 life heroes that I would like to say. One of my heroes is God. I mean, I always, when things get tough, I just pray heavy, and I pray heavy every day. But I would be remiss if I didn't say my father. My father was a powerful man, and just what he instilled in me, just of you are a leader, you're a West, and we can do things if we put our mind to it. So I speak those same things to my son, that really when we hunker down, son, we can do anything. And then I even pull little instances out of my son, like, well, remember you couldn't do this, but we worked at it, now how well you are at it. So I even kind of confirmed to him, which my dad did for me. So my heroes in life are my Savior, Lord Jesus Christ, and my Father. My favorite hobby is, I think people. I love people. I mean, and really I even say sometimes that I think at times I'm locked in when I'm at a school, because I want to touch and affect more people. And you would think in a school, out of 900 people, don't you think you're affecting enough people? But that even shows you like my goals and dreams are much bigger. So that's just one of my pieces that I'm really steadfast to. What would people be surprised? Because I'm so transparent a lot, so a lot of people get. I think that people be shocked at like really how I'm mean at times. And not that it comes off, but if people push me the wrong way, then they're almost like shocked, because they always get the nice and I love people, so you're not gonna get that. But then some people just take you there, and I even try in that to be wise about how I conduct, but I've just learned to make sure that I tell people. But I think people be just shocked, and even people don't believe me when I tell them I'm mean. No, you're not. You're just such a nice person. But I do have that. I don't like to be crossed, kinda, or backstabbed, or things of that nature. Um, wow, a childhood best friend. I would say that it was hard going up until 13 or 14 because then that's when I became very stable stable in a neighborhood for longer than 1 year. Um, I had a very good friend. Well, I can shift even. I mean, I've got a lot of good friends. Um, I say one from high school, but one of my friends I've known since I was 15 years old, and we're still friends today. Had the shirt, give me the shirt off his back. Um, and really when we look like, wow, you think it was only 2 years. I'm like, wow, it's been almost 25, 30 years we've been friends, but that shows, but just one of my friends, Tracy White, just a genuine friend. If I called him right now, he'd be on his way to my job to see what's going on with me. So got about 20 good friends like that, but if I say that's one of my strong childhood friends. My favorite form of artistry, which I have a lot from music, dance, but I think just communicating. I think sometimes communication, I think is an art and I didn't think it was an art until I see a lot of folks can't do it. So I'm like, wow, but what I have is a gift of how to talk with people and make people's day a little brighter and things of that nature. So I really think that one of my best forms of art and is communicating. I just love all different types of ice cream. So if I had to, goodness, I can't even pick one because I can pick one, this, other, but usually I'll say cookies and cream, Oreo cookies and cream, but then if I try this one, it may be snickerdoodle or, but just to be real, I try to stay away from it because I try to watch my finger. But it's real, if I can just throw it in, I have that kind of complex growing up when I knew I was going to become a principal, that I didn't want to be the overset, principal because that's what I kind of seen growing up. So it's like, whoa, well, how can I be an effective principal if I can't get around the building? So when you bring up ice cream, that brings up I love ice cream, but I've trained myself to stay away from it. Yes. I have a couple of favorite quotes. Once again, just I'm always trying to educate myself. But as I work and I'm transparent and I'm always got my heart on my sleeve, I always have to remind myself, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Because I am out there and I tell folks, well, this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm thinking. And sometimes people can use that against you. So I always say, no, I'm not going to change myself. I'm going to still be the person I grew up. I'm not a backstabbing person. I'm a very honest person. So I like to use that quote because sometimes you can get down to the dumps. Okay, why are people treating me this way or that way? I just pray to my hero and use that quote. My life mantra is, once again, probably like, goodness, he got a couple of everything. For one, I wanted to be an outstanding father. That was just major for me. As I talked about my father, but through my family situation, my dad was kind of in and out. So I missed a year or two. And then you see kind of how that can affect you. Even I still turned out well, halfway decent. That's one of my pieces of wanting to make sure that I was a father, first and foremost. Also to be in the life of young people. So I really feel that in both my jobs that I work every day, my day job of being a principal, high school principal, but then also in the evening of being the most proud father I can be. That's just kind of what I'm wanting to live by, because through that, it builds community, it builds nations, it gives students a sense of pride and courage. So all of that is my life mantra. I'm gonna take my last breath doing just that, taking care of young people and taking care of my son. As I pray, I love peace. So I would try my best to spread peace and love. I mean, you know, you even go back to Dr. Martin Luther King. He's like, I'm gonna fight with this love, and it works. I fight with love every day, and then when I do, I pray about it. But you know, even as I talk with young people and talk with anyone, you know, that's just that major piece of peace across the world, and how can we, you know, work together. So that's one thing that I would push for. Not sure how, but I would be pushing that message. And I know how diligent and resilient I am. I know I would be pushing it heavy all across this world. I know I would be, to be able to change people's hatred to peace. And not just that angry for a quick moment, but I'm talking about the hatred that I can't understand. I'm talking about that hatred. Because, you know, I look at, you know, once again, I'm not a malice person, so some of the things that people can do to other human beings and things of that nature, even as I read thoroughly through my past and through my cultural past, it's like, wow, somebody could just really do something like that. As far as, you know, to hang people, to totally strip people of their history and heritage. I'm talking about those things that are like, wow, like, where is that rooted at? Because that's not in me. It's not, and I can tell anyone that now. As I told people, I'll fight you if you keep pushing me. But that just hatred, that's a deep-rooted hatred. So if I had a superpower, I would want to be able to just wave a wand and, you know, can we do away with hatred, so then we can start growing and dealing with everyone's issues and helping everyone. So if I could change things, I would want to travel more. I would want to travel more. It's not anything about my physical appearance, about my thinking. If I could change something where I could travel and speak, that's the one thing. And that's something that I can actually control. So I'm going to try my best to control that thing I can change. I love my uniqueness. I know I'm very unique. And I love my gifts. I think I've God-given gifts, like I said, just to affect young people and just people in general. That's a major gift. And like I said, I had to reflect to know I had it. Like I said, it really didn't start hitting me until 8th or 9th grade, where I'm like, I think some of you, I think you asked me earlier, like, it started showing flash 4th and 5th grade, but I really started understanding it by the time I was in high school. I think it kept, you know, you keep watching it as I went through high school and then even in college, and it started happening in college to where you look like, wow, like, I'm not on a football team, I'm not in a fraternity, and people are still treating me the same way. Because so I just kept seeing it and kept seeing it and kept seeing it, like showing up. And even now, I still kind of don't acknowledge it. You know, it's just like, okay, I know it a little, but I don't think I use it as much as I can. So I'm really still kind of finding, okay, how do I use this gift to the highest that I can possibly use it? So like I said, just knowing that it was there and working with people every day, but just continuing to hone. I mean, I think even so at age 47, I'm still honing and working on my effect on people. But I want it to always be positive, is what I know.